Well, just so he knows how. Give him a kiss. Come on. Let's go.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi, everyone.
So today is the second day after the castration. Yesterday we did the castration. We haven't seen your comments yet since the video comes out today.
I won't be reading the comments.
So that's how it is. So now what are our plans? What are we going to do?
Now we're going to walk Doctor because it's his second day after castration. We can't let him out or walk him properly yet. Besides, he's a suckling foal. I'll explain why later. There are some difficulties with that too, but for horses, the castration procedure itself is simple. But the preparation and postoperative period can involve certain things at specific times. For example, the horse can't go for walks, but this also includes the fact that it can't stand still. That is, it can't go for proper walks in the first days after castration. A horse can't constantly move around the clock, jump freely, and so on because it has an incision. So, open castration is a wound that leads into the abdominal cavity. That means you have to make sure the intestines don't fall out and so on. And a horse can't stand still after castration either, because the exudate that accumulates in the scrotum after castration, along with blood, novocaine, lidocaine, and other fluids, as well as lymph, needs to come out. If the horse stands still and doesn't move, it doesn't come out. Stagnation, swelling, and inflammation occur. That's why horses are usually walked after castration. Later, trotting is added. Then riding work or jogging if it's not a riding horse. Ours is not a riding horse, it's a foal. Actually, everyone has a different way of walking a horse. I mean, there are a lot of methods. Some people keep the horse tied up for 3 days. I'm against that. I mean, we only had it tied up for a few hours. Some people don't walk him at all for several days, just give him an hour of walking a day. Some walk him 4 times a day. We chose the middle approach. We walk him 3 times a day. On the 4th or 5th day, he will most likely start going out for full walks little by little. That is, starting with a few hours. Again, we could talk about this for a long time. With horses, castration is a process that can be very individual. So the approach is individual. For us, the process is easier because we have cold weather. And the foal is small, so the incision itself and the testicles are very small. Everything will heal very quickly there. But if the weather is warmer, if the castration was performed in the summer, then it's a medically necessary castration. If the testicles were huge, if the horse is feeling unwell, if it didn't handle the castration well, then there are some case-specific measures added and you monitor the situation accordingly. Sometimes you can walk the horse, other times you can't, maybe put him on an IV or try something else like massage. Many things can happen. They sometimes clean the wounds, so we might have to as well. That's all. I've started lecturing again. We're about to start walking him now. So can you see there or not? Well, I guess you probably can't see it anyway. There's no swelling. There. The wound looks good. The only downside, of course, is the sawdust. I mean, the horse was lying down on sawdust just now. It's a drawback during castration, but we have no other option since our ground is clay. So using straw would be bad. It will heal just fine like this. Doctor is very active. He wants to walk around. He doesn't want to stay in the stall. He wants to jump and run. It's hard to keep him walking, basically, because he wants to play, but I don't let him trot or gallop. Since it's only the second day, galloping isn't allowed.
He still wants to bite too.
So, if he keeps recovering well, in about 2 more days, that's it. We can let him trot, and then he can go out for walks. By the way, I gave him an antibiotic on the very first day, just in case, intramuscularly. How are we going to walk him now? Will Sasha sit on the mare, or should I?
Well, I guess I will now, since you got so tired this morning.
Yes, one person sits on the adult horse, and the other handles him on the lunge line. He doesn't want to just stand still, so they walk him on the lunge line at a distance because he wants to play. Why don't we walk him alone? Because we have a suckling foal, so we can't separate them right now. We can't keep them apart because he's still nursing. Well, I want to keep him on milk a bit longer. I want him to grow up even healthier and stronger. There was really no point in weaning him earlier. That's it. He basically can't anymore.
He wants to play. That's it, yeah, let's go quickly.
So here we are walking. He gets worked up right away.
Actually, it looks like he's gotten sad again, because he walked for 30 minutes this morning, and now he's a bit sadder.
He kept trying to rear up. See, when he gets sad, that's what he wants. So where did he get sad then? I'm too tired to hand walk him. I'm really tired. I don't want to spend half an hour walking him around in snow like this right now. It's just some lonely one. No, I won't. And I keep him on a lunge line because he tries to run off. He isn't allowed to. Only have to walk. Don't give him his head.
Well, the castration, of course, was very interesting. All the guys were castrating for the first time, even though they're all over 50. They've never dealt with this before, but they're all from the countryside, so they don't have any problems or fears about it because they've slaughtered pigs, done other things, castrated pigs, and done all sorts of stuff. So one of the guys at the end says, "I've lived for 60 years and I've never seen anything like this." Well, that's because we took it down just like that. Well, of course it's tough. You really worry the first time you take one down. You're afraid you might grab the wrong leg, or that it might hit you so hard it'll really hurt, or even break something. I got hit on the arm a little, but today my arm is already fine. So I don't know, it's interesting, right? It was really interesting. I don't really want to do it again, but for the experience and to try it out, it was very interesting.
Because foals, the kick of a foal is stronger than that of an adult. Foals react to everything. Everything is different. And even when he's lying calmly under anesthesia, as soon as you start doing something like tying him up, that's it. He starts moving all his legs.
Well, his legs move so fast you can't even see them. Even on camera you can't see how fast he's kicking. When he hit my hand, I didn't even notice how his leg moved. It just struck and was back in the same place, as if nothing happened.
On the lunge line, he walks really well like this, and if he starts to rush around, I can pull him back. It's very convenient. I see that on camera. He always behaves well, right? He behaves when the camera's out, but what was he doing this morning?
Just too much massage for today, that's all.
Looks like it's too much massage for Sonia, right? I'm fine. You can lengthen it for him if he wants. Why is he in the snowdrifts? Stop him. Gently, don't pull too hard. Easy. Pull it towards yourself. That's how we walk, collecting snow. Good job. Make it longer if he wants. Look, see what kind of tail we got. Of course, it's not really fresh anymore, even though I did it today. I rewrapped it today since yesterday's fell off. Here's the story of the bandage. If someone decides to castrate a horse and by some miracle doesn't understand anything and doesn't ask their veterinarian, you have to bandage the tail. There was a very serious lesson at our stable when I was a teenager, still basically a kid. They also castrated a young horse. He was about 2 years old, maybe a year and a half. It's fine. The main thing is they wrapped the tail with an elastic bandage. I don't remember who did the bandaging. There were many people. Everyone forgot about that bandage. I don't know why. The veterinarian forgot too somehow. Basically, everyone forgot. A week later, it turned out that gangrene had already started on the tail, you understand? How can you forget something like that? But that's not the point. The point is if you're bandaging a tail... Doug.
The snow caved in.
If you're bandaging a tail and using an elastic bandage, well then have a little fun with it. What do you want? I'm afraid of you. You jump wildly. If you want to bandage the tail with an elastic bandage, don't wrap it too tightly. Or keep an eye on that tail. Unwrap it, then wrap it again. It was only there for 7 days, maybe even less, and gangrene started because the bandages were too tight, and the tail rotted. And they had to cut off the tail. That horse is still alive. I won't say its name. It lives without a tail, poor thing. And a horse without a tail is a terrible thing. Why? Because when there's a swarm of insects, mosquitoes, flies, why does a horse or a cow have a tail? It's to swat them away. What? All of this could have ended worse, because gangrene from the tail can spread to the perineum, and then it won't be gangrene of the tail, but of the scrotum. In short, the story is funny, but it's really not funny at all.
So this is already our third walk. Today, right now, it's 7 p.m. here and it's already dark. We have a flashlight like this. It lights up some, but I'm not sure how well the camera sees. Whether it's visible or not, we'll record a little bit. What? We've already walked for an hour today. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes after lunch. And now we need to walk for another 30 minutes, and that's it. And tomorrow, these procedures will continue. So, dear friends, today is already our second day. It's the third day after the castration, but only the second day we've walked with him. He doesn't really want to walk anymore. He's sad. We already walked in the morning and now we're walking again after lunch. And he's not exactly bursting with energy anymore, so to speak. The hat is really funny, by the way.
In short, everything is going fine. I treated in the morning. Today I did it again, and in the evening, just my luck, the spray broke. This is chemisamicin. It's 50 kilometers to the city from here. Nobody here knows anything about chemi. There's nowhere to buy it here. Good. I'll show you what I'll use to treat it until we go to the city, but I'll probably share it on the second channel, right, Vit? You'll see it on the second channel. Everything's fine, basically. It's holding up for now. The intestines seem to be in place. Nothing's fallen out. We're walking. Everything seems fine for now.
I'm tired. Was there a clot? Yeah, did you have a little bit of blood, the one that fell out?
Well, for horses after castration, it's normal for lymph to come out, for blood to come out, and these clots too. Because during castration, surprisingly, horses form a clot on the blood vessel. And then these capillary clots remain. That's right, and they should fall out. That's right, the lymphocytes should be working on the wound there. There should be some light yellow or clear pinkish discharge coming out. All of that has already started coming out for him today. It's just that when you come in the morning, the horse has already been standing for a while, and there's kind of a pile there. And as soon as we walked him a little, he ran around, everything immediately fell off. Well, it cleared out. Basically nothing special. I didn't make any of this up. Movement, cleanliness, regular treatment, and that's it.
By the way, about the comments, someone there, maybe I should tell you again, something like that.
About the comments.
About castration, everyone writes that it must be done at 3 years old, at 4 years old, that it's mandatory.
This is such a serious question, and answering the comment, hand on heart, just hand on heart. I can say that if a horse is castrated before the age of 3, its heart will definitely develop normally. Definitely. Don't listen to anyone else. I can't even comment on that simply because it's hard for me to hold back. Testosterone and castration cannot affect the development of organs like the heart. Listen, guys, please. We decided this way because both in the world and in Russia, maybe not so long ago, but still in practice, castration has been done for a long time. Castration has long been performed in America, starting at 6 months old, And in Russia, we already have this kind of castration because people have started to understand that it's actually very difficult for people to raise a proper stallion until the age of 3. That is, the stallions grow up calm, meaning they're calm and run in the herd with their fellow stallions. They keep order there, yes, and for the most part they're calm. But there are situations when you're left alone with a stallion, and no one will take you in for boarding because all the horse people know that sometimes this happens. You go from stable to stable, and everywhere you know it's written, "We don't accept stallions, we don't accept stallions. Is it a gelding or a mare?" Or like with us? In reality, I'm the only one working with the horses. I have a mare in my hands, I'm working with her, and a stallion, and I can already tell just by looking at him that there are going to be problems with him. That is, he's a dominant, very strong stallion growing up. He argues with me a lot, rears up a lot, and lunges at me. So, well, how can you raise a stallion to 3 years old and do it safely? What's the point then? Should we just send him for meat and buy another one? Well, only if that's the case. Well, then the whole point of our Sasha's existence becomes meaningless because, well, what's the point of all this then? Why should we give him away just to get another one? That's complete nonsense. Why do that if we can just castrate him and raise a good horse? Everything has already been studied long before me. I didn't come up with this. They grow well. It's been scientifically proven for a long time that a stallion castrated early, well, generally up to 4 years old, because a horse's growth usually stops at about 5 to 6 years old. Sometimes they say even at 7, depending on the living conditions. But the earlier you castrate, the taller the horse will be, because lower testosterone makes the long bones in the limbs grow much more. That's why the horse grows very tall, its ribs become very long, and its chest volume increases. It's possible that the horse might be a little narrow if it doesn't get enough exercise, because a gelding can sometimes be lazy. But in our conditions that's unlikely to happen because we have pasture, so the foal will grow up in an environment where it can run, graze, and so on. It will move a lot. That's it, no one. Of course, we're not encouraging castration at 8 months. Ideally, I would castrate at a year and a half. At a year and a half, but not older. Really not even a little bit older, not at all. But these are our circumstances, you know. Either we put him down or we leave him castrated. Because separating him like this, dragging him everywhere, fighting guys, I don't want that. That's it. From my knee to my shin, I already have a rod like this. Yep, I have a metal one. Titanium, that's it, thank you. My fingers have already been bitten all over. My spine was almost bitten off. They bit my head. Everything was bitten. Everything was broken. They beat me, dropped me like this, trampled on me, and on top of that, they even crapped on me. Who doesn't know? Well, who knows. I don't want to. It's just that I've been around stallions since I was a teenager. No, that's not necessary, thank you. I wish you well.
So goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Anyway, I'm already worked up. Anyway, if you want to castrate, go ahead. If not, that's fine too. I'm not urging anyone, but there's nothing wrong with early castration. I'm just strongly in favor of it because it's safer for people. That's why it's been practiced abroad for a long time. Because people in Russia are like that, and abroad they're different because safety is really important there. And, well, they don't raise horses specifically so that some invented heart or something else grows there. It will grow on its own anyway. That's why they've been doing castrations like that for a long time there, and in Russia too. I'm just tired.
Well, give it here. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.